PS90 from FN, also known as Fabrique Nationale. I like saying that, Fabrique Nationale. Makes me sound fancy. Anyway, so I'm pretty sure a lot of you are familiar with this gun aesthetically, especially you gamers out there. You probably know this more as the P90 versus the PS90. The difference between the two is the P90 is the full auto version. The PS90 is the semi-automatic version, which is the unfun version. However, by the end of this video, I want to refute that notion and show you why this probably is one of the funnest guns I've ever shot. Now, all right, so this is probably one of the more unique firearms on the market, just based off of sheer looks. I think the only other gun, not the only gun, but one of the most notable guns that come to mind are the Stog. And Steyr AUG, sorry. As you know, a lot of people know, if you know me, I'm not the biggest fan of the Steyr AUG just because it looks weird to me. It's like a praying mantis. There's nothing wrong with the gun, I just don't care for how it looks. But the PS90 is a gun that I do actually really like the way it looks because it's so unique. It isn't beautiful, it isn't like, oh my God, it's the prettiest thing in the world, but it's a unique looking gun in the same way that Yeezys are unique looking. Like you don't know why you kind of like them, even though it's easy to hate on, but there's something about them aesthetically that just kind of sort of works a little bit. Peter's shaking his head no, even though he has a closet full of Yeezys. But who knows? Maybe I'm speaking about the minority. Nonetheless, the one thing that always stood out to me about the PS90 is this height over bore issue. It looks kind of wonky in a weird way, but here's the crazy thing. The way it's set up now, at least for me, with this Leupold Delta Point Pro, it actually works really well. Okay, so I got this simply to, all right, so right now the way this gun works, this is kind of like a bullpup design. And if you're not familiar with the bullpup design, basically everything is at the rear of the gun instead of in front of the gun. And then of course you have the barrel sticking out. On the P90, you have, I'm completely off topic. I'm supposed to be talking about why this height over bore issue is so actually kind of optimal, at least for this particular setup. But what I want to talk about is the barrel real quick. So this is a 16-inch barrel, right? And it shoots the FN, it shoots the 5.7 round, which is most popular in the FN 5.7 pistol. Now, the P90, the full auto version of this gun, has a 10-inch barrel, which is shorter. So a lot of people like to get these guns and then SBR them and make them shorter because they feel like the barrel sticking out of the end is really wonky. And I could see that, but to truth be told, once you actually start shooting with this thing, this gun itself fun to shoot. I can sit here all day. Oh God, this is gonna be one of those, I'm warning you right now, this is gonna be one of those videos that's gonna be all over the place.
Yeah, I know you're watching the video and all entertained and enjoying it, but I want to talk about today's sponsor. Acre is a subscription-based platform for buying gold. Acre lets you make small monthly payments, and once your account hits a certain threshold, Acre will send a gold bar straight to your house. There's a $30, a $50, and a $100 option. Each month when your account reaches the price of a 2.5, 5, or 10 gram Acre gold bar, Acre will then discreetly ship you a small gold bar every time your account hits that price threshold, and then credit any remainder to your next gold bar. So if you're interested in buying gold or simply want to learn more information, you can click my affiliate link in the description section of this video. And now back to the show.
So, damn it, I'm almost out. So, 16-inch barrel. Once you start shooting a gun, it's such a small form factor, you don't really notice the barrel sticking out. When you're looking at it, yeah, sure, 10-inch barrel sticking out here looks cool as hell. And then if you suppress it, it's even sicker. However, the way it's set up now, I'm perfectly happy with it. Sure, am I gonna SBR it? Yeah, I probably will. But, I mean, come on, dude. This just, oh, okay. Oh gosh. Okay, let me talk about the gun real quick, then I'll reload and then do some more shooting. So, couple of aspects about this gun. So the height over bore. Whenever I'm shooting this gun, when you look at it, it seems too high. It's like, this is weird. However, once you get it zeroed in and you get behind the gun, it just comes up to your eye so naturally. It's boom, 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 boom. I mean, look at this thing, boom. The ergonomics on this gun are phenomenal. Everything is rounded off. There are really no hard edges on this particular gun. So walking with it, standing with it, going and kneeling with it, anything you do with it just feels soft. It just feels soft. I love this thing. It's well balanced. I can only imagine how balanced it would be if you actually did the SBR barrel and had the 10-inch. This thing would be phenomenally balanced. I can't think of a more personal gun than this. This is like a, this takes how much fun shooting a pistol caliber carbine is and then ratchets it up a notch, largely because of the platform. Pistol caliber carbines, they all kind of feel like you're shooting them out of an AR or a platform you're familiar with. But to put it in something like this just changes and enhances the overall shooting experience. As far as loading the PS90, everything about this gun is extra, but it's extra in a very fun way. It takes the kind of typical experience of shooting, it just changes it. It just says, you know what, we're just gonna do stuff differently. Now, don't get me wrong, there's a functional reason for everything that's on this gun. There's a reason why they did it, especially in terms of what it was going to be used for. It was designed to be small and compact so you can come in and out of vehicles. And so there are functional reasons for all of it. However, at the same time, from just a shooting enjoyment standpoint, this thing is it just takes all the rules that you're used to and just kind of throws them out of the window. And so for instance, like loading the mag, like taking the magazine and loading the gun, stick it in here, you slap it, and then you charge it here on this ambidextrous charging handle, and you're good to go. Even the safety, if you want to look at the safety here, the selector switch, right now it's on safe. When I want it on fire, I just simply rotate it, just like that. Just like that. Actually pretty damn intuitive, if you ask me. The only thing I will say is that you don't really have an idea when it's on safe and when it's not. I mean, you can do it tactile if you know and memorize which one is safe and which one's on, but I do find myself looking down trying to see the designations to let me know whether it's on safe or not. But then other than that, when you just get down to brass tacks, it's just such a freaking fun gun to shoot. And another thing, because the 5.7 round is it's a smaller round, and then it was already a light recoiling round in the 5.7 pistol. In this platform, considering the weight with the barrel and everything else, man, you can sit on target so disrespectfully, it's insane. That's at 25 yards away, and you can just sit on it. And I think that's a lot of the philosophy behind the round and this particular platform. Yes, it's a smaller round. However, with that particular, you're not putting one big round on target. You're putting several rounds in a very short period of time. And that only not makes for a very effective gun, but also a very fun gun to shoot, because you can just sit here, plink at stuff all day long. And if you look at the targets down there, I'm not just shooting at one big target. I'm going back and forth between several size targets, even one over here. Like that target is no bigger than maybe two of my hands put together. And I'm able to just sit on that target and dump rounds on it. That's what makes this gun so enjoyable to shoot. Add in the unique factor of the firearm as well, and the ease of and the ergonomics of the gun. It's enjoyable to shoot because it's comfortable, it's unique, and it's light recoiling, and you can just dump rounds on target. It's so beautiful. There's another interesting thing about this gun is the trigger. So the trigger is this like big, broad board looking space thingy. It's gonna look like a space gun. The whole gun looks like a space gun. But essentially here is what you get. It's a kind of a progressive trigger when you use the PS90, but here, since it's semi-auto, you just get the smooth take up, and then that's your reset. If I'm gonna be honest, it kind of feels, it does. It feels like a staple gun. That's the best way to explain it. This trigger feels just like a staple gun, except instead of actuating it with your hand, it's with your finger. It even sounds like it too. Even the way that the bolt runs back and forth, it sounds like you're stapling something more so than shooting. If you can afford it, and you are one of those individuals that just buys multiple guns, just to buy multiple guns, which is actually quite has kept a big portion of my following. If you can afford it, this gun is a must-have. If you consider yourself a gun guy and you have a collection of guns, you have to have the PS90 in your collection. You just do. And the reason why is basically based on a lot of the other stuff I've already said about how great it is and how comfortable it is and how ergonomic it is and all those things. Yes, sure. From a defensive standpoint, I'm not gonna really get into the rigmarole of the effectiveness of the 5.7 round. It's a very specialized type of round. You can use it for self-defense. A lot of people still carry the FN 5.7 pistol for self-defense. There are gonna be some people who wanna carry this round for home defense, and I wouldn't blame them. However, just from a sheer gun guy standpoint and in just the enjoyment of shooting, these are one of those guns that you truly will just enjoy shooting. Now, is this gun expensive? Yes. Are the rounds expensive? Yes. Are they not that easy to find? Yes, and all of those things are true. But if you can manage it, if you can afford the gun, if you can afford to pay for the ammo, if you can find the ammo, you gotta have one of these in your collection. You just do. It's just an amazingly fun gun to shoot. And I've shot my fair share of fun guns. I'm trying to think of anything that rivals this. It's literally taking a pistol caliber carbine and just stepping it up a notch and just making just the shooting experience that much more enjoyable. I can sit out here all day and just shoot. And then even still, let's say I have property and I'm just walking around my property. This allows me just to have a gun at my disposal that is comfortable, that is very personable, that's very easy to use. It gets out of your way. I've had this gun for a while, and I don't shoot very often because it is expensive to shoot, because the ammo is not that easy to find. But man, when I do come out and I shoot it, it just reminds me every single time how I shoot. It was already fun to shoot in the pistol format, but shooting it in this format, it just takes it up to a whole nother level. And then whenever I decide to SBR it, which I'm not in a rush because I enjoy it the way it is now, I think it would even be even better. So, the FN PS90. If you are a gun guy, collector, whatever the case may be, if you can afford it, if you can find the ammo, you gotta make it a point to get one of these in your collection. This is freaking awesome! Oh yeah, and one more thing before we go. Let's go, Brandon.
Guns aren't political. That's why I need your help getting this message to spread on YouTube by clicking the thumbs up button, leaving a comment to let me know what you think of the video, then subscribing to the channel. But most importantly, click that bell symbol. For products featured in this video, click the links in the description.